Hey everyone, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home, and in today's video we are going to run through some more new and upcoming 4K releases that may be of interest to you. We're going to run through most of April and May, as well as a couple titles at the end of March that I have not mentioned in previous videos, and give you a little look at what's coming here in the future to 4K Blu-ray, and also cover some rumors and some stuff that doesn't have a hard date yet, but that we know is coming this year in 2022. If you want to stay up to date on all the latest in 4K Blu-ray and movie collecting, physical media news, definitely subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that, and that way you'll make sure you never miss a video and help us hit 100,000 subscribers this year. So thank you for that, and now let's jump right into it. So before you watch this video, given I'm posting this sort of towards the end of February, if you do want to see more titles that came out in February or most of what's coming out in March, definitely check out my past video. I also talk about some rumors on there that have since been confirmed that I'll talk about in this video, but definitely check out the update from the end of 2021 that I gave. That's a good place to start, and then you can come back to this one, because we're going to jump right into the end of March and into April when we talk about release dates. Now, before we do that, one thing, in the middle of March, I do just want to confirm March 22nd is a big day. We did get confirmation on The Godfather 4K. So in my last video, that was sort of like rumored, almost semi-confirmed. It's definitely confirmed for March 22nd now, so that's a huge one, and I just wanted to start with that first. Now, jumping ahead one week, we're going to start at March 29th for this video, and this is a pretty loaded date for 4K releases. The first one is The Last Waltz, which is a great concert film about the band called The Band. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it, but Criterion's giving us a 4K release on March 29th. We're also getting The Message, which is a kind of older 70s movie, but tells a pretty good story. I actually have it on Blu-ray. A viewer sent it to me. Check that movie out. I think it may be of interest to you out there interested in like history and politics. And then Flesh for Frankenstein, which is a cult B movie, you know, horror to a certain degree, but that's getting a 4K release on the 29th as well. But the big one here is actually a huge release for me, and it's a David Fincher movie, Panic Room. Now, Panic Room we haven't had on physical media since the days of Superbit DVD. That was the last release you could buy of Panic Room. It skipped Blu-ray, but it is coming to 4K from Sony on March 29th. So I am super excited for that, because we need way more of David Fincher's catalog on 4K, and this is a great start. So now there's not much right now on April 5th. In fact, I didn't really see anything when I was looking through my listings and things that have been sent to me. So I'm going to skip right ahead over to April 12th, and that's a pretty slow day as well. We are getting Frankenstein 1994, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein from Arrow Video on 4K that day, as well as RoboCop on 4K from Arrow Video as well. Now, April 12th also brings to us the home video release of Spider-Man No Way Home, the biggest movie of 2021 and one of the biggest box office movies of the last 10 years, pandemic or not, really all time. This thing blew it out of the water. So I'll be interested to see if April 12th holds. That's what it's set for right now, but I haven't actually got an email on it or anything yet, and I did just hear they're kind of re-releasing it in theaters with a kind of bonus edition, so I wonder if they'll push that out a little bit and try to drive those box office numbers up, but as of right now, it's April 12th. Now on April 19th, we got a couple. We got Heavy Metal from Sony on 4K, which is pretty cool. Heavy Metal is going to be on 4K, and then it includes Heavy Metal 2000, but that's just on Blu-ray, so that's a cool steelbook that Sony's putting out for fans of that movie. And then we get In the Heat of the Night. This is another Kino Lorber 4K release. They are really going hard on 4K, especially these older catalog titles and a lot of MGM stuff, but we're getting In the Heat of the Night on 4K, which should be really cool. Jumping ahead one week to April 26th, this is actually a pretty big day. First off, we got 12 Monkeys coming from Arrow Video, so that's going to be a fun one. Like that movie a lot. Great performances by Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt in that. Then we've also got Singing in the Rain from Warner Brothers. I had talked about that being confirmed in my past video, but we didn't have a date yet. So Singing in the Rain is coming on April 26th. Very cool. Can't wait to check that out. Then we've got Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day 2U. Double feature there from Shout Factory / Scream Factory, getting a limited edition release on the 26th. Don't know that I'm going to pick that up. They're both 2K. upscales. Don't know that I really need those in 4K, and it's not really worth the premium for me, but I'm sure a lot of you Scream Factory collectors and hardcore collectors out there may be picking that one up. So that is a pretty cool release. Good to see Shout and Scream Factory doing some more 4K. And then also on boutique labels, Criterion has another 4K release on April 26th, and it is For All Mankind, which is an excellent documentary about the Apollo mission to the moon, and seeing that in 4K is going to be really, really cool. If you haven't seen the Apollo 11 documentary, that one is an awesome documentary as well. Definitely recommend that, but I'm really excited for All Mankind. Now that sort of gets us through the end of April, and right now there's a lot of stuff floating around there that doesn't have a date, and so there wasn't much left for May, although the only date that was confirmed and has a lot of titles is May 31st, which is kind of interesting. So there's definitely some stuff that will drop in May, but as of right now in February, we're a couple months out from that, and there haven't been a ton of confirmations. We are about 3 months out, and that's usually about as far as the confirmations stretch, and now you get into sort of more rumors. But on May 31st, I do want to mention that date because there are a lot of confirmed titles. The first one is Criterion. They just announced this, but it's Double Indemnity on 4K, so another 4K from Criterion. They're clearly going a little bit harder here in 2022 on the 4K format. And we've also got The Untouchables coming on 4K. That one will be really cool. Love seeing an old gangster movie like that on the format, and that's just a great movie overall. Then from Kino, we've got Fistful of Dollars and For a Few Dollars More, so that's going to round out the Man with No Name trilogy there. They already released The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, so this gets them the next two on 4K. And then this was just kind of a surprise announcement that came in the other day from Sony, but they're putting out their musical 1776 on 4K as well, and it's loaded with special features, so definitely check out that listing if you like that movie. It has like several different cuts and some really cool stuff that I guess you haven't been able to get since the days of Laserdisc. So pretty cool, surprising release from Sony. Maybe not one a lot of people are familiar with, but I thought it was cool that it dropped. So those are kind of the hard dates, and then we have more stuff that I've confirmed, other people have confirmed. There's rumors floating around out there. There's articles about this stuff, or they were kind of mentioned in different places. And if you put all the pieces together, you can sort of start to piece together the rest of 2022. Now, a couple of confirmations first. Pink Flamingos is coming to the Criterion Collection in June. That's going to be the 50th anniversary of that John Waters movie with Divine, and that is coming to Criterion. It's been long rumored, but it just was leaked, I guess, sort of in an interview with John Waters, that it is coming in June for the 50th anniversary. We don't know if that's Blu-ray or 4K. There is a chance it could go either way, so that's why I'm putting it on the list, because that one could end up being another 4K release for Criterion, given it's probably one that a lot of people are looking for and have been wanting for a while. We also had a couple confirmations from Studio Canal on new transfers they're working on. One is The Graduate, which previously had a Criterion Blu-ray. That's going to be brought to 4K by Studio Canal, so that's a UK company, actually a French company. So that's European. We'll see if maybe somebody releases that in the US under their own label. Tends to happen with Studio Canal releases. And then they're also doing The Cat's Eye, which is the Stephen King horror anthology movie that actually just got a Blu-ray release for the first time a couple years ago. Now Studio Canal is doing it in 4K. So again, could that be something that like Arrow Video or Scream Factory puts out in the US and Studio Canal handles elsewhere, or passes that off to maybe like Second Sight? We don't know, but those are at least being worked on, and we can expect them this year. Now, other than that, there's a couple more Kino Lorber releases which have been confirmed but don't have a hard date. They are doing The Usual Suspects in 4K, which should be really cool. Happy to see that get a 4K. Was nervous it wouldn't, since we sort of, completely canceled Kevin Spacey and anything he ever did. But it really sucks because he's in some great movies, and I was hoping that just because of his issues, they wouldn't, not put those movies out on 4K. So it looks like Kino is taking the leap there. They're doing The Usual Suspects. Fingers crossed for 7 at some point for all you Fincher fans out there. But Kino is also doing Paths of Glory, the Stanley Kubrick war movie, which was also a Criterion release. So more Criterion Blu-rays that are going to Kino on 4K. interesting to see this shift. And again, we'll have another head-to-head comparison to check out, Kino versus Criterion. So the only other one I can really confirm is that there's some sort of Universal Monsters Volume 2 4K set coming. Last year we got Volume 1 with a lot of favorites, but it was lacking a few titles, especially some key ones. And I'm already hearing that Creature from the Black Lagoon, The Mummy, and Bride of Frankenstein are coming to 4K. So there's probably another fourth one that's out there that would round out that set that will create sort of a Volume 2. So that's coming at some point this year. I would expect it to maybe hit around October again for, Halloween season, but we'll see. I do believe that those 4K masters are already completed, so it's just a matter of getting them on the disc and encoding them again and having the discs created, because Universal did all these great restorations back for the 100th anniversary. So that is a real quick breakdown of what's coming here in April, in May, what's coming into the future. And definitely check out my last video because I named sort of all the Warner Brothers titles that are coming. Those are still coming at some point. We've got Christmas movies like A Christmas Story, we've got National Lampoon, we got Elf, we've got Constantine, we got Edge of Tomorrow, Singing in the Rain has a date now. There's a lot of stuff coming from Warner and of course Universal. Lionsgate has some stuff coming. The Lighthouse will probably be hitting on 4K soon. And there's lots of rumors out there about more Criterion 4Ks, including In Fabric and First Reformed. Those have been rumored to be coming to 4K by Criterion. And there's also a very good chance, based on what I'm hearing, that A24 is going to be doing more 4K releases of their own titles. So they did Midsommar and they did the movie Lamb on 4K and released those through their own shop. Chances are they will be doing more A24 shop exclusives on 4K. So you got to keep an eye out on those as well, because those have been really cool packages. So that is about it. That's what I know so far here, mid-February of 2022. Of course, I'll make another video if things change. I'll update you guys as I learn more. I like to do these every, say, 2 months or so, just to try to keep you up to date and get you excited about what's coming to 4K this year. But 2022 is going to be an absolutely great year. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any videos, you don't miss any reviews, and you're staying up to date with all the latest in this world, because that's what I'm here to bring you. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you check out all my links on social media. Great way to stay in touch with me and stay up to date on what's going on in my life or on the channel outside of YouTube. I do post updates to Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok fairly frequently, so if you want to follow me there, check out those links and check out all the other links down in the description, including purchase links for all of these movies. If there are pre-order links, I have put them out there for all of the movies that I've listed, and if you use those, that helps support my channel, so I appreciate it. Otherwise, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and stay healthy out there. Get excited for these 4K releases, and I'll talk to you soon.